there everybody, this is Lunar from Lunar Witch Stitchery. I hope that you're all doing well today. I am excited to be bringing you guys my end of year WIP Parade and other stuff. I am filming this as like a normal Flosstube video, so I'm going to be starting off with a life update like I always do. If you guys don't want to watch that part, you can totally just skip ahead. I do have the sections broken down in my little video bar, so you can just click ahead. So life update, WIP Parade. I'll also be talking about anything that I've been working on within these past few weeks, and then we'll go into purchases and plans. I'm hoping to also talk about plans for next year. So yeah, hello again. I hope that you're all doing well. For this life update section, before we get into it, I just want to give you guys a quick trigger warning. I'm going to be talking about the death of somebody who was quite young, as well as my grandfather who has dementia. So if those are sensitive topics to you, absolutely feel free to skip past this part. I promise I will not be like super sad for the rest of the video. But yes, so as I kind of alluded to, the last couple weeks have been really interesting, and not like in the best way possible. I am sure that if you're a regular viewer of my channel, you are noticing that I am not nearly as animated and, bubbly as I usually am. That is because one of my closest friends, on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, got a call that her brother had been hit by an SUV while at work and he was killed. He was only 25, and yeah, it was really unexpected, obviously. Like, you don't really go into your day thinking that somebody close to you is going to get hit by a car. But yeah, so he was a construction utility worker, and he was hit at like 7 or 8 in the morning by a 17-year-old driver. And from what I understand, it sounds like it was just the driver is a kid and wasn't paying enough attention, and so my friend's brother was a victim of that, basically. But yeah, that was especially hard for me to deal with, not because I was like super close with my friend's brother, but because my partner, he is a driver for a mail carrying service, and he's out on the road all the time, and I just thought of like how easily it could have been him or somebody else that like works under him. And it would have been of no fault of their own. It just really sucks. They're kind of at the mercy of other people sometimes. So yeah, that was really difficult. It's been about 2 weeks now since his passing, and I think all of us are doing a little bit better at this point, but that was really difficult for me to deal with. And then on top of that, my best friend in the whole world told me that they found a lump in their breast. So that was really scary as well. They did actually end up getting it tested and everything, and it turned out to just be a non-cancerous cyst. So I'm extremely thankful for that. So they're doing fine, but that news on top of like my friend's brother passing away, and I think it was the same day that my friend's brother passed or the day after, one of my other closest friends, there's like 6 of us that are like besties. So one of my other friends from that group went into the hospital because they recently had a major surgery and they were having complications because of it, and they literally almost died. So yeah, that was also really difficult. Yeah, everything is okay now. Both my 2 friends are doing fine at this point anyway. So but yeah, it has been really, really, really stressful for me. To cope today, I am drinking some black tea. So that's what that is. Thanksgiving for me was okay. We celebrate with my mom's side every year. But this year, because my grandma passed away in the middle of the summer, we invited my grandpa from my dad's side to come to Thanksgiving with us. And yeah, it was kind of weird because we usually like celebrate separately, especially for Thanksgiving. My dad's side doesn't do anything. So it was weird having him around, not in a bad way, it was just different. It was really hard for me to interact with him though, because he has dementia as well. My grandmother had dementia. And yeah, it's difficult to interact with family members that don't really remember who you are, when you feel like they should. That's kind of the whole thing with having dementia and Alzheimer's, is the memory issues. So that was a little bit difficult for me to deal with. Ruben and I just ended up leaving a little bit early so that I could recover. But yeah, he seems to be doing really great, actually. He's in really good spirits. He was very personable. He was talking to everybody. But yeah, it was just really difficult because he definitely did not remember who I was, for most of most of the time. So yeah. Hello, I am editing this video at the moment, and I realized I forgot to talk about two things that were fairly important. One of them is definitely more important than the other. So first off, I did quite a bit of stitching between my last Flosstube and this one. Actually more than I expected to, but my stitching time was impacted a bit because the new Pokemon games came out at the end-ish of November. Yeah, I'm really enjoying my game. I think somebody commented on my community post that they're also playing it, so there has to be at least one of you that likes Pokemon. So I hope you're enjoying the game. I am, despite its many issues and bugs. I am talking, so my cats are coming to say hi. But yeah, that. Also, I have not gotten around to making a new intro for my Flosstube videos. I'm hoping to do seasonal ones. And we have had some snow here now, but I just haven't really had the chance to actually film. So yes, we'll be using the fall one until I can make a new wintry one. Other than that, like I said, my partner is a guy who works for a mail delivery service. And so this time of year for them is ridiculous. They call it peak season, obviously, because it's when they have the most deliveries that they have to do every day. Peak goes from Thanksgiving to pretty much Christmas-ish. So he's been having some really, really long days lately. He is working 6-day weeks, which he's a workaholic, so he has no problem with that. But for me, I miss him and I worry about him because of my friend's brother recently passing away, so that doesn't really help. But yeah, it's just been very busy, very stressful in our household lately. So I'm really excited to get on here and talk to you guys about some positive stuff, which is my WIP Parade. Yes, so let's just get right into it. Hello, welcome. If you skipped my life update, hello again. This is the start of the WIP Parade. If you're new to my channel, I know that when I do WIP parades, I tend to get folks who aren't regular viewers of my channel. Welcome. But just so you know, I do not have a ton of projects. I have, I think, 9 or 10. I know some folks on Flosstube have 100, which is awesome. I literally love watching people's WIP parades that are 2 hours long. But just so you know, I do not have as many projects as some people. So if you're looking for a super long WIP parade with a ton of different WIPs, you're not going to find that here, but I am very talkative. So there will be plenty of chatting to go around. So make sure you grab a beverage. I'm drinking black tea today. My favorite tea is Assam. So that's what I have. This is my second cup today. So yes, very tasty. For my WIPs, I'm going to be going in chronological order based on start date. I think I have start dates for all of my projects. Let me double check. Okay, pretty sure I'll be able to have start dates for everything. So I guess we will just go ahead and get started. Let's not waste any time. The first piece I'm going to be talking about today is on a scroll frame. If you hear any stomping, my upstairs neighbors are walking around, so sorry, I can't do anything about that. But anyway, this is the Kanto Pokemon sprites. This is by Boris Designing on Etsy, and yes, I started this June 26th of 2021. So this project is about a year and a half old, and I am stitching it 3/1 on 14 count white Aida, except for the black, which is like all I have right now. I am actually stitching the black in pearl cotton. I haven't made any progress on this in a really long time, but this is what it looks like. You guys should have seen the finished piece already. So basically I'm going through and doing all that. Oh, I took my needle away. I'm going through and doing all the outlines first, and then I'll be filling them in later. I just haven't worked on this in a while because it just hasn't been like calling to me. I really, really want to get it done. I literally have a spot for it on my wall by my desk for when I finish it. But yeah, I just haven't been working on it. My original goal was to have this finished at the end of last year. So yeah, as you can see, that wasn't the case. But like I said the last time I pulled this out, I'm almost done with the outlines. I just have a couple more that need to be done. So I should really like sit down and work on this at some point. But I've just been having too much fun on some of my other pieces, which we'll talk about. But yes, that's this piece. Yeah. The next one is my Fox autumn piece. This is by Llama Cross Stitch on Etsy. This is being stitched 3/1 on 14 count off-white Aida. And this was started on August 31st of 2021. But I didn't really work on it until February of this year. So I started it in August of 2021, but I pretty much did like one sitting on it and then didn't touch it for many months. So I did actually do a little bit of work on this piece since you guys saw it last. So here's a quick picture of where it was the last time you saw it. And then this is where we're at with it now. Yeah, I think I said in my last Flosstube that this piece was in jail. I really did burn myself out on this piece, but I'm so close to being done. I think this I could probably finish in like, I don't know, if I worked on it every day for a week, or if I had like a couple really, really big progress days. Pattern Keeper says I am at 85.83%. So really close. I have a little bit over, let's see, I have about 1,300 stitches left to go on this. So I have found that these days I am a lot slower at stitching on Aida than I used to be. I have spent a lot of time stitching on linen in the past months, so I don't know that I would be able to knock that out in like 2 or 3 settings. I think it would take more like 5 or 6. But yes, this is still going to be a gift for somebody. I definitely missed her birthday by a really long time. It was in the middle of October, so but yeah, I'm sure she won't mind getting a gift at some random point in the year, whether it's for Christmas or just randomly. So yeah, I am still like really not feeling this piece. I do bring it to work usually to work on if it's slow or whatever, but we've actually been pretty busy lately. The shop that I work at is going through a lot of changes right now, so we've been busy with like switching out inventory and getting in new stuff and just so many different things. So yeah, that's my Fox piece. I would love to have it done by the end of this year because I wanted to have it done like many months ago. But yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of mad at it still, so we'll see where I end up with that. The next piece I have to talk about is the That Which Does Not Kill Us Stitch Along by the Urban Stitches. This is being done on 14 count coffee dyed Aida, which I dyed, and I started it on January 31st of 2022. This sal, I think it ended in July, maybe, but it ended sometime this summer. So this sal is complete now. I haven't worked on it in a super long time, so this is where I'm at. I do have the full frame done, and I only have 2 of the 8 plants finished. Yeah, this piece is all back stitching, if you can tell. It's what you call black work. So it goes actually really fast. I really like doing back stitching. I think it's really fun. So if I work on that piece, it wouldn't take me that long to actually finish, but I just never work on it. I don't think I've worked on it since like the spring of this year. So, you know, yeah, that's that. I don't have too much to say on that one, just because like I haven't touched it in so long. I don't hate this piece, and I really would like to see it finished because I think it's really pretty, but yeah, I don't know. I just like can't seem to get myself to spend time on this one. Okay, now we are getting into WIPs that you guys have probably like seen more recently. So this is Odile. It is by the designer Make It Pink, but the original art is by Hannah Alexander. I am stitching this 2/2 on 36 count opalescent linen in the color Rose Murda from Under the Sea Fabrics. And I started this on March 12th of 2022. I don't think, let me check if I've worked on her. No, I have not worked on her since you guys last saw her. So that is where she's at the moment. She is at 7.21%, which is 3,596 stitches. This was the first piece I ever stitched on linen. If you guys, again, if you're new to my channel or if you didn't know, I've been cross-stitching since I was about 10. I'm currently 24, so I've been stitching for a long time, but I wasn't really involved in like any cross-stitch communities or anything like that up until about a year ago, so I didn't know that cross-stitching on linen was even a thing. So yeah, this was my first project that I ever started doing over 2 or anything like that. And it was really, really, really difficult for me at first, especially because this is 36 count, so the holes are very small. And I just wasn't used to stitching on it. So I have like negative emotional ties to this piece because it was just such a struggle for me for so long. But as you guys will see with my later linen projects, I'm really not having issues with linen anymore. I find myself stitching on it very quickly. So I think if I could get past my feelings, I could get a lot more of this knocked out. Also on this piece, somewhere over, I have this little red chunk that I started and then I abandoned it. As you can see, I just like plopped the thread into a random hole and just left it there. I miscounted somewhere by a quarter of a stitch from one of my first couple days on the brown section. So that's also kind of annoying me, where like at this point I don't even remember where the mistake is because I found it like many months ago and I just moved on to doing this long piece instead of going that direction. So I think I just need to bite the bullet and like just give her some attention so that I can start to like her again. My original goal for this piece was to have her finished by the end of this year. Obviously that is not happening. There is no way in hell. Even if I stitched on this every single day for all of December, I don't think I would finish it by the end of the year. Yeah, if you aren't familiar with this designer or whatever, there is so much detail work in these pieces. Doing the actual cross stitch is only like half the battle. There's also an insane amount of back stitching and a lot of beads on most of the pieces. One of the pieces from this designer that you'll see later actually calls for over 5,000, so that is quite a bit. Odile does not have quite so many beads, but she does have a lot. Like if you see these little tracks in this thing, those are all like tiny, tiny bead holes. There are many. So yes, that is Odile. I, again, have some feelings about her, but I want to try to put those aside if I can. Next up, this was my first ever full coverage piece. This is Miss Bohemia by Gecko Rouge, as you can see. The original art was by Medusa Dollmaker. I haven't worked on stitching this piece since you guys last saw it, but I did accomplish something very major. I went through and I rehung all of the floss so that it was longer, and I snipped the ends so that everything is ready to be stitched with. I use the loop method when I stitch. There is dust everywhere. Oh my god. I use the loop method, and so this is the length that they send the flosses. They're kind of all like looped up on the floss card, and as you can see, I like them about double that length since I fold my thread in half when I stitch with it. So I was getting really annoyed by like having to completely take all the thread off the card and rewind it and cut it in half whenever I switched to a new color. And it was really like deterring me from working ahead on this piece. So I decided to just go through and do all of them. The only ones I didn't do are the ones in the back, which are just like extras for colors that call for a lot of floss. Like this one in particular is the background color. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of it. So those I'll just do as needed, but all 85 or 84 colors have all been snipped to my liking, which is really great. I think that I will definitely be able to do a lot more on her now that that awful task is taken care of. I have been watching a lot of like video game content lately. So when I did this, I put on like a 3-hour video of somebody speedrunning one of my favorite games and commentating over it, talking about like the glitches they were doing. So, and this took me longer than that video. So I think I spent about 5 hours doing that, which yeah, it was a long process. So, oh, I didn't actually show you my like actual whip. I'm so distracted by talking about speedruns. Like I said, I haven't done any actual stitching on her since you have last seen her. So this is the same as where she was at last time. I got bored of like the background stuff, so I started doing the letters, and then I got annoyed with doing the letters because it was like white on white. So then I moved into doing the green for the branches that are up here because I got excited about it. So yes, that's where she's at. I think she's probably my second favorite project. I used to say she was my favorite, but I think there's a different one that has taken her place, sadly, for her, but I still love her so much. Let me grab Pattern Keeper really quick and I can tell you some numbers. That is 5,779 stitches, which is 2.57%. So yeah, again, I wanted to be at 50% by the end of this year on her. I'm not even close, which is fine. I really picked up a lot more projects this year than I had intended to. So I really didn't meet like any of my stitchy goals this year just because I kept focusing on different projects than I had originally thought I was going to be focusing on, which is totally fine. My goals are really just there for motivation and not as like a way to shame myself for not getting enough done. So don't worry about that. I don't think I said like her start date. That is being stitched 2/1 half stitch on 25 count even weave, and I started her on March 29th of this year. Next up, we've got another full coverage. This is Magic Study Rainbow version in Max Color. This is by Heaven and Earth Designs, and the original art is by Rose Kahn. I'm stitching this 2/1 half stitch on 28 count Lugana, and I started this on April 22nd of 2022. Haven't worked on this one either since the last time you saw it, so that's where I'm at with it. And Pattern Keeper says I am at 1,918 stitches, which is 0.43%. If you do not know, this piece is massive. The total stitch count is over 444,000. So I really picked a big one for my first Heaven and Earth design, and a Max Color no less. So yes, I love this piece, and I actually was super close to working on it last week, but I just like didn't, I guess. We'll kind of talk about that later. I was busy working on another piece, but love this one. Can't wait to get back to it. All right, I still have 3 more WIPs to talk about, but my camera is starting to overheat, so we're just going to take a quick break here while it cools off, and then we'll come back with the rest of my stuff. Okay, hi, I am back. Hopefully I will not have any further issues with my camera, but knowing my camera, I probably will, so sorry in advance. Yes, so the next piece I'm going to be talking about, I have to pull it up on my phone so that I could get a start date here. Cool. This is the Noah's Ark Precious Moments pattern, which is by Gloria and Pat. If you're new to my channel and you haven't seen or heard of this piece before, this is a piece that my mom started for me when I was a baby, and she isn't able to stitch anymore, so I'm finishing all the back stitching for her. She did all of the full cross, so I am in charge of back stitching. Yeah, I haven't done anything on this since last time you guys saw it, so this is where I'm at. Everything like over here is done on the top part of the arc, so yeah, like I said, I really like back stitching, so this is actually pretty fun for me, even though it's like absolutely not my style at all. Like I would never pick this piece out to stitch. But yeah, this, I started the back stitching on July 3rd of this year, and I have worked on it very off and on. I believe it's being stitched on 16 or 18 count. I'm not really sure. But the full cross is being done with 2 strands. I do know that for sure. Next up, we have one of my focus pieces. This is the Dark Queen of the Earth stitch along by Autumn Lane Stitchery and Under the Sea Fabrics. So like I said, focus piece. This one I've been working on quite a bit. Let's do like formal stuff first before I talk about opinions. This is being stitched 2/2 on 32 count linen in the shade Nightshade from Under the Sea Fabrics. We are up to our 4th drop on this piece, and I started it on September 1st of 2020, which was the first day of the stitch long. Yes, I think that's everything. So last time we spoke, I still had a fair bit to do on part 3. I had said that I was hoping to get it done before Thanksgiving. I did not. I actually finished part 3 on December 1st, which was when part 4 came out. So I'm really barely skating by on keeping up with this this piece now. But here is a picture of where it was the last time you guys saw it. And this is where I'm at now. So like I said, I did finish part 3, which was that, and then part 4 is part of the frame. So I picked a reference point from her body, and I'm just kind of working out from there. Let me show you really quick what the mock-up is looking like just for part 4. There it is. So I kind of started whoa, like right here where my ring finger is, and I'm just working out. This is 3,688 stitches, which is kind of a bummer. I was really hoping for a smaller drop this time around just because I really struggled to keep up with part 3. But this one is such a drastic change of pace that I'm hoping I'll be able to keep up with it a little bit easier. I have been taking a little bit of a break from her. I'm starting to get a little bit burned out because I was really forcing myself to work on part 3, which was from here down on the skirt, which was also around 3,600 stitches. And I just really struggled with that part for some reason, not like difficulty wise, but like getting myself to work on it and enjoy it wise. So yeah, Erin, the designer from Autumn Lane Stitchery, did say that this piece is very bottom heavy. So I have a feeling that we're going to do this side of the bottom of the frame and then we're going to go to the other side before we start moving up, which again, kind of a bummer. Because I really want to see what her like face and stuff is going to be looking like. I'm sure everybody feels that way. But yeah, I am happy with how this is looking. And I am excited for it to be done. There's a little mushroom in this section that I think is so cute. So I'm excited to get to that. And my last WIP that I have to share with you guys today is Princess Serenity by Make It Pink and Hannah Alexander. This is being stitched 2/2 on 36 count linen in the color Aphrodite from Under the Sea Fabrics. And I started this on November 7th of this year, so it's been about a month that I've had it. And yeah, a quick picture of where it was at last time. And then this is where I've gotten to now. I've done quite a bit of work, as you can see. She has been my favorite piece to work on. I am super, super enjoying it. I think it's really fun. I did get to a part up here that was a little bit more bead heavy, so there's a lot more holes and fractional stitches, but I did actually complete that color. That's where it ends there. I mean, it goes up on the other side here too. But I didn't give up just because there were bead holes, so I'm really proud of how that came out. And yeah, let me grab numbers here. This is 2.72%, which is 1,445 stitches. So this is about a third of the number of stitches I have on Odial, and I've worked on this only for like 3 or 4 days, and Odial has a lot of sittings in her. So I'm able to do a few hundred stitches every time I sit down and work on this. I don't know what it is about her. I just love it. So yes, I also got a needle minder for this piece. If you're not familiar, this is Artemis from Sailor Moon. He is one of the little companion cats that they have. This is from Needle Minder Layer on Etsy. They are based in Germany, so this took like a month to arrive, which again, totally fine. But just be aware if you're looking to order from them. If you're based in the US, it might take a while to show up, but it did show up. I actually think this is my favorite needle minder I have. The magnet on it is insanely strong. I love it so much. But yes, Serenity. With her, I talked last time about needing to order the specialty floss and the beads. I still have not done that. We have been a little bit tight financially lately. There was just a lot of stuff back to back that was a little bit unexpected. But yes, it looks like we are going to be doing fine starting like next week. So hopefully with my next paycheck, I will be able to finally order those beads. I did check my cart on 123 Stitch, and one of the beads that I needed is out of stock, which kind of sucks big time. But I don't think I'll be getting to beading her in a while. Like I said earlier, this is the piece that calls for 5,000 beads. So yeah, I love beading, I love backstitching, so it'll be a really fun time once I do get to that. But it's going to take me quite a while. Yes. That is all of my WIPs. I do have like a little baby WIP that I haven't worked on in a while. It's kind of a side project though. It is an adult toy themed WIP. for my adult toys. So I'm not going to be showing that today just because I haven't like touched it in a while. You can find it on an older Flosstube if you are interested in that. I can try to link which Flosstube it is in the iCard up here, so if you're interested, you can go look at it. But yes, so let's get into purchases. Like I just talked about, I did not purchase beads for Serenity yet, so that is a bummer. The one thing that I'm scrolling to find it, the one thing I did purchase is a pattern from Heaven and Earth Designs. They were having a half off sale for Cyber Monday, I think. And I picked up Lunar Goddess by Margaret Morales. I did not get Max Color because I honestly, between the mock-ups, I didn't see that big of a difference. So I thought that I would not torture myself and just get the regular version because it looked pretty much just as good as the Max Color version. I'm not planning to start that like for a really, really long time, but I really love that piece. So I wanted to take the opportunity to grab it. Yeah, that's literally all I've bought. Very exciting for purchases. And then plans. I am really hoping to focus on finishing part 4 of the Dark Queen of the Earth. Like I've said a bunch of times, I'm really trying to... There's cat hair on my face. I'm really trying to stay caught up on that sale because it is massive. The stitch count on the piece as of right now is over 10,000 by this point. So that kind of gives you an idea of where we're at. But yeah, so she'll be a focus, and when I'm not working on her, I will probably be working on Serenity because she has just been like so therapeutic for me. I just love her. One other thing of note, I guess for plans or whatever, Ruben, my fiance, his first Gecko Rouge kit came recently. We talked about this a couple different times. This is called... It's Never Only a Dream by Medusa Dollmaker. I believe he got this 1/1 on 28 count. He did get the matching needle minder as well, so that is in there. He's trying to finish his current piece before he picks up this one, so it's living in my room so that the cats don't get to it. But he is super excited about that one. I am too, because I think it's going to look awesome once it's done. But yeah, that came. Another thing that has been on the brain lately, this is not my original idea. I've seen it all over the internet, but I wanted to get some of those clear Christmas ornament bauble things that are plastic. Sorry, somebody's thumping upstairs. It's really annoying. To fill with our offcut threads for this year. I didn't see this until like July or August. So he and I have only been saving our offcuts since then. So we won't have a full year's worth of orts to put into these, which is kind of a bummer, but you know, it is what it is. So we wrote with glitter glue on these, and then since there's 2 of us, we put our first initial on the back just so we know whose is whose. We wanted to do matching glitter glue colors, but we wrote on each of these ourselves so that they were in our own handwriting. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm not really a Christmas person. I actually really don't like Christmas, but it's just such a cute idea, and I just really like it. So that's definitely going to be a tradition that we continue for the foreseeable future. I just purchased these like a couple days ago because Michael's is doing 60% off of a lot of their Christmas stuff right now. So I got those for 40 cents a piece, which is amazing. So yes. And again, these are plastic. They're the kind where you can pull the top out. They do have ones that, oh my goodness, they open like this and snap closed, but they didn't have any at my Michael's. It would probably be a lot easier to fill those kind with orts, but yeah, that's all we had, so we'll just have to jam ours in through the top and it will be fine. Yeah, other than that, for like 2023 plans. The Dark Queen of the Earth will be finishing in August of 2023, so hopefully I will have my queen finished at that point as well. My Fox Autumn piece I would definitely like to have done, hopefully by the end of this year, but within the first couple months of 2023 for sure. I would also like to finish the back stitching on this piece. I kind of wanted to do it for Christmas this year, but I don't have enough time for that. So yeah, maybe for my mom's birthday, which is in March. And then I think I would like to finish Serenity. I think it would be really cool to have her done by like June or July so that I can have her done before my mid-year WIP Parade. And then I can start a new Sailor Moon piece. I do have like 14 of them to stitch up, so I would like to get some good work in on her. I do have all of the Sailor Moon pieces, and I have two, excuse me, I have tea burps. I have two other patterns from Make It Pink as well. One of them is Princess Zelda, and one of them is Tinkerbell. So these pieces all take an awful lot of time and energy, so I'd really like to do that. And then I don't know, I'd like to make some good progress on some of my full coverage stuff. I'd like to at least pick up my Pokemon piece next year because it's just so big and I think that I could get some good work on it. Oh, and my That Which Does Not Kill Us piece, I think I could pretty easily finish that if I could actually work on it. Probably beginning of 2023, I'm also hoping to get... I'm shedding. Oh my god, am I okay? I'm just falling apart in this Flosstube. I am hoping to get a new bead storage system. Now, this would probably be in the beginning of January, probably with Christmas money. The one I'm looking at isn't like outrageously expensive or anything, but I'm hoping to get myself some stitchy stuff with Christmas money, so I'm hoping for that, and I'm also hoping to get a Lowry stand. I do have a stitching stand currently, but I kind of hate it. Just the way that it is, and like with the height of our couch and how our living room is arranged, it's not great to stitch on in there. So I pretty much just find myself holding my hoops and Q-snaps, despite having this stand to use. So I'm hoping to get a Lowry, and I'll be passing off my old stitching stand to Ruben if he does want it. Yeah. The other thing that I wanted to talk about that's actually really important, in 2023, I am planning to go on a no spend. This is for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons is I have a lot of really big pieces. I'm so sorry for Almond's butthole. I have a lot of pieces right now that I'm working on that I just think could use some more love. Like if I was actually working on them more consistently, they would be a lot farther along. And some of my pieces are very labor intensive. And so I want to do that to focus on the stuff I already have. And also Ruben and I are trying to pay down some of our credit card debt and student loans and stuff so that we can buy a house within the next like 5 years or so. So basically I am planning, please don't type anything on my computer, bud. He's being really cute right now. Look at him. I am planning to only stitch patterns from my stash, so I'm not going to be buying any new patterns. And the only cross-stitch purchases I'm going to be allowed to make are to help kit up any patterns that I currently have. So if I need fabric for something, or if I need more floss or beads or whatever, that's okay for me to buy. But I don't need to be buying new kits. I don't need to be buying new patterns. The only exception I'll make for that is I know Make It Pink is confirmed to have her 12th Hannah Alexander pattern set that's going to be coming out next year. We don't know what that is yet, but if it's one that I really like, then I will probably be pre-ordering that and paying for those patterns. Those patterns do have editions, so I do like to get the first edition if I can, just because I'm like that. So pre-ordering them will allow me to do that. And I also will not be canceling my Gecko Gold membership. I'm still going to be paying Gecko Rouge every month for my twice yearly vouchers. I believe they're good for a year now, so I'm hoping I can save up 2 of them and use them to get like a more expensive kit to get more money off of it. So that's really all I'm planning, but largely we are cutting down on cross-stitch purchases next year. I think that's it. Pretty sure that's everything I needed to talk about today. I hope that you all enjoy your holiday season. I'm not entirely sure how much I'll be uploading towards the end of the year here, so I wanted to go ahead and do this WIP Parade today, just so that I have it out before New Year's, just in case something happens and I'm not able to film. And yeah, I hope you all have a nice rest of your day, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!